The time now 6:23. It is Friday here on Daybreak, which means it's time for Mike, the auto guy Davidson of Parkway Automotive, to take more of your car-related questions. But first, he's brought in his fan mail.
Hey, I've got, well, I don't know about that fan mail. Yeah, Mrs. Braswell, her third grade class out at Chenal Elementary just wrote me the sweetest notes, and then they drew a lot of pictures, and I thought, well, that is really cool that they did that. They spent a lot of time on that, so thank you, Mrs. Braswell, third grade class.
I think that's you.
That must be me.
I think so.
Well, I've got a smile on, so that's good.
You donated some things to the school.
We did. They had a silent auction yesterday and had a spring fling out there. So it was, I mean, it was a bunch of them. I sat and read every one of them.
I'm sure. Oh, they're so much fun. All right, let's get to the phone lines.
All right, let's do that.
While we have Larry on the line first in Conway. Hi, Larry.
Hello.
Hi, go right ahead.
Oh, we've got a problem. I have nothing.
You have nothing? Oh boy. All right. I'll let you check your earpiece and I'll listen. Go ahead, Larry, be easy and tell me your question.
Mike, I have a 2001 Chevy Silverado, and the gas gauge it keeps rocking back and forth.
Yeah. What's going on there? It is the sending unit inside the gas tank. Now, what's also very common that usually comes up not long after that is a problem with the fuel pump. So I want to advise you that when you're going to need to pull the fuel tank, or some people actually take the bed off the truck to get to the fuel tank, you'll want to replace the sending unit. That is the most likely cause. There's a couple of small tests to run to be sure, but that's the most likely cause is that. When you're in there, I want to recommend that you replace that fuel pump while you're in there putting the sending unit in. You can buy it all as one single unit. I think that unit is around $400 or $500, so it's kind of expensive, but still, I don't want you to put that sending unit in there and then in a very short period of time have to put a fuel pump only to have the labor to go back in there again.
Okay, thank you, Larry. Hopefully that will help you out. Okay, Cynthia from East End is up next. Hi, Cynthia.
Hi.
Hi, go right ahead.
I have a 2000 Windstar minivan, and yesterday, sitting at a red light, my car would miss to the point where I had to put it in park, you know, and give it the gas to keep the engine revved up. A couple hours later, I drove home, and when I pulled in my carport, it was just smoking under my hood, just frantically. I mean, I didn't know what. I thought my car was on fire, but it smelled of antifreeze.
Okay. Well, certainly there's a couple of things here. Certainly the loss of antifreeze is the thing we've got to go to first, because that is certainly the most critical as far as the vehicle running and not causing progressive damage, which it will. So one, let's get our coolant back full before you drive it to a shop or have it towed if you're not going to fix this yourself. But you've probably blown a heater hose or something like that under the hood. If you've got smoke, I'd look for something like that. Could even just be something that simple. We'll tend to think the worst, but it can get worse if you drive it without that antifreeze. You want to do that. And on the idle thing, it's very possible if the engine was running hot, that's why it was trying to shut down and miss for you. So that's not a good thing in that regard. Or it could have just simply been the idle air control valve, which is very common on the Fords. The main thing is we want to get that coolant thing fixed. We've got to get that fixed, or you're going to have progressive damage, and I hope that hasn't already happened.
You say first thing when something's going wrong, look at that temperature gauge?
Oh, yes. That's right. Temperature and oil, they were so critical.
And if it's high, if it's on the H, shut it off as soon as you can.
Shut it off.
Pull off somewhere and shut off.
That is for sure.
Thank you, Cynthia. All right, number 3 on the phone lines is Kathy from right here in Little Rock. Hi, Kathy.
Hi there. Hey, I have a 1986 Silverado, and I had it keeps backfiring, and I've changed the plug wires, I've changed the rotor, I've changed the distributor, and it still backfires, but not as bad as it was. Can you tell me what to look for next?
Yeah, when we go back to 1986, all right, then we could be dealing with a timing problem where it's maybe jump time, so we want to look at that. Also, if we have an intake leak where we're actually bringing in more air into the engine than what it's supposed to have, then that can cause a backfire. But I would suspect a problem with the timing when we start backfiring when we go back to 1986. And we really don't have that problem with cars today, but back in 1986, that's where I would go.
It was Silverado Day here for you.
It was.
How about that? Hey, thanks for bringing in the kids.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to continue looking through these. This is fantastic.
They were a lot of fun.
Thanks a lot for sending them in. Okay, we appreciate it. Let's put up the information about Mike Davidson's place at his Parkway Automotive over there on Kirk Road. You say the road's looking better?
No, I did not say the road's looking better.
What did you say?
I said they've got some men out there with some equipment bigger than a shovel.
Oh, okay.
And they started working on that road.
So there's hope it's going to get better.
Yes, there's light at the end of the tunnel.
It's right there off of Chenal Parkway, Kirk Road. Take a right. And you can also go to Mike's website by going through ours at KATV.com. Thank you. We appreciate it. Back in just a little bit, Beth has another look at your news. Right.